Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q1 FY 2021-22 earnings conference call of INEOS Styrolution India Limited. We have with us today from the management of INEOS Styrolution India Limited, Mr. Sanjeev Vasudeva, Managing Director, Mr. Sanjeev Madan, Director Finance, Ms. Amita Mistry, Litigation and Secretarial Officer, Mr. Abhijat Sinha, Company Secretary and Head Legal India. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Sanjeev Madan from INEOS Styrolution India Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, dear shareholders, investors, and analyst fraternity. We welcome you to this earnings call. Your company, INEOS Styrolution India Limited, has declared its result for the quarter ended June 30, 2021 on 12th August 2021. We will brief you about the major highlights of the performance. Regarding quarterly performance, revenue net of GST from operations in current quarter is INR 45,472 lakh as compared to INR 11,552 lakhs in April to June 20 and INR 63,655 lakhs as in previous quarter. Profit before tax in current quarter stands at INR 11,843 lakhs as compared to loss of INR 3,071 lakhs in April to June 20 and profit of INR 21,645 lakhs as in previous quarter. Now regarding quarterly segment performance, specialties first. Profit before interest, tax and other unallocable expenditures stands at INR 8,639 lakhs in current quarter as compared to INR 70,656 lakhs in the previous quarter. Polystyrene, profit before interest, tax and other unallocable expenditure is INR 3,314 lakhs in current quarter as compared to INR 4,330 lakhs in previous quarter. The effects of COVID-19 pandemic continued to be felt with a second wave of infections across the country during the quarter under review, with lockdowns and various restrictions imposed by a majority of the state governments. The business of the company was negatively affected due to lower demand of our products. With the gradual opening of the economy and the onset of the festive season in the second quarter, the company expects demand to increase across all industries. However, given the uncertain nature and duration of the pandemic, the assessment of its effect will be a continuous process. The company continues to closely monitor all economic indicators and will take the appropriate measures to safeguard its business operations. So this is all about clarifications and details about our files. Now we can go ahead and ask for your queries and clarifications which are needed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We would like to remind participants that you may press star 1 to ask a question. The first question is from the line of Nitin Kapoor, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Just wanted to know that the company is generating decent amount of cash what do you propose to do with this cash, and what's the estimated amount of capital investments expected in the next couple of years?
So, hi, this
Hello.
is Sanjeev Vasudeva. Hi.
Yeah,
Yeah. So basically, yes, we have generated a good amount of cash. We are paying back some of the ECB loans that we had taken for expansion of our Moxie plant. Yeah. So that's the first and foremost. And then we are in a situation where COVID is still existing. Yeah. So the coming 6 months are pretty uncertain. And as of now, we will wait and see how things shape up from an economy point of view, from a COVID point of view, and then going forward, we'll make decisions on capex. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And secondly, the last time we met, you told that the international prices of ABS were around $2,300. Now, what's the current international price, and how are the spreads currently?
So the international prices are around the similar kind of number, around 2,300. Yeah, which they went up to, in fact, 2,500, and have kind of come down again to 2,300 in the last few months.
Okay.
But that's the nature of the business. Yeah.
And how are the spreads currently?
The spreads are still healthy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. One more thing. Last time you were saying that you expect the market to go long sometime this year. Now, do you still hold that view, or it has changed in this quarter?
It will eventually happen. When, we do not know. Yeah, because these very healthy margins and top of the cycle does not stay forever. Yeah, and so it's difficult for us to predict as to when the change will happen. So as of now, the margins are still healthy.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. The next question is from the line of Abhishek Jain from VC Corporate. Please go ahead.
Well, I have got a few questions. One important thing, one being that in your annual report, you have not mentioned about the volume of the volume that we have sold, like every time that we provide. Nor in this current quarter's presentation, you have provided this data. So all of a sudden, why you have changed this thing?
Well, we don't think it's necessary for us to provide the volume data because most companies, provide the revenue number, and we feel it is appropriate for us to stick to the revenue number only.
Okay. And in the past, that I have seen that our company don't make much profit from the polystyrene business, but for the last 2 years, we have been making good amount of profit. So can you tell me how this will pan out this year or next year? Means, is it a sustainable profitability, or is it just because of the spread that is happening all of a sudden because of this supply chain issues?
So we have been making good profit over the last, several quarters on polystyrene, and going forward, it's difficult for us to predict, how the margins are going to contract. But as of now, the business is in good shape of polystyrene.
Okay, means at least for the next few quarters, the visibility is quite clear. Okay, another thing is that a few days earlier, there was a news that INEOS International has closed down its plant, citing force majeure in Germany. Can you please tell me? I was going through their annual report as well, the INEOS Styrolution annual report, where it is mentioned that this company doesn't have much of the exposure in Asian countries. So most of the raw material gets imported from the European side. So how this is going to affect the company per se?
No, we don't have a big effect from force majeure. Most of our raw materials, force majeure from Europe, yeah. Most of our raw materials come from companies in Asia or in Middle East. styrene being one of the key raw materials, and acrylonitrile and butadiene is locally sourced. So I don't think there's any effect because of some force majeure in Europe or Americas.
Okay, fine. Means so basically our raw material comes from the Asia only. And another thing is, it could be my last question. So what are the integration benefit or the product that we are launching from the Korean acquisition that we had made recently, the parent company? And another thing is that is there any plan to set up this styrene capacity in India?
So I'll answer your second question first. Recently, there have been announcements by Indian Oil and in the past also by Hindustan Petrochemicals about announcements. Reliance also, yeah. So they're talking about plants by 2026 or 2028. Yeah, about it. If I remember correctly, 500,000 tons or so. So demand as of today in India is about 800,000 tons, yeah, for styrene, and it's all imported. So we'll wait and see, which of these investments really pans out, yeah.
So those that's really going to take too much time.
Yeah, we're talking about 5-6 years from now, yeah. So we have to see, how those investments really happen or not. And you had another question?
About this Korean company's acquisition and the integration.
Yeah, so the Korean company, sure.
K-Resin, I think.
Sure. The K-Resin has been integrated very well with our rest of our organization in Asia Pac. We do source part of the volume from Korea for our local Indian demand, and that business has been recovering very well after the COVID year.
Okay, fine. I'll get back into the queue, and when I'll have another question, I'll come back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We would like to remind participants that you may press star 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Abhijit from 5 Square Investment. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Abhijit here from 5 Square Investments. All right, sir. You just mentioned that the prices were pretty much stable at 2,300 levels, right? So what do we see going forward?
Please, sir, this is the conference operator, but there is a disturbance coming from your line.
All right. 1 second. Is it better now?
Yes, sir, you may go ahead. Thank you.
Yes. Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sir, you mentioned that the prices are currently at about 2,300. So where do we see it going forward in the next 1 year, 1.5 years? And what would be the impact?
So like I said, it's very difficult for us to predict, like it's like predicting price of oil, correct? Or the price of diesel in India. So difficult for us to predict.
So in terms of contracts and everything, like how do we manage pricing?
No, our contracts are not with the tied with the, well, you're talking about our ABS prices, right? Your question was on our end product prices, right? So, they are not, so at the end, it's all tied to what happens with the price of oil, right? And it's derivatives. And, we don't have of course, it's related, but we don't have direct contract relation with the prices which are going to be with the, oil and its derivatives going forward, yeah.
All right.
So you have to just wait and see how it shapes up, yeah.
Just from my understanding, sir, now suppose if it comes down a bit, so how does that impact our business? Would the margins come down accordingly? Or
so high price is always good, right? High prices is one part. The second part is the margin, correct? You can have very high prices, but if your raw material costs or input costs are also very high, your margins are less, yeah. So, so it's not just the price, it's also the price of your basic raw materials, yeah. And it's tied with some of the derivatives of oil and also to the global supply demand situation and to the local economy. So there are multiple factors, Abhijit, right, which affect. So it's not that straightforward where you can say, price today is 3,500. Tomorrow is going to be 2,000 on 31st December.
There's
so
there's not
a lot of science. So, but we do know that these are cyclical businesses, and and we are in a good cycle right now. Thank you.
And sir, you mentioned that you're going to use this cash that we've recently got towards paying off our loan. So would we be using them for dividends as well, like a higher dividend this year, or would it just be used to pay off our loans? And how much would that amount be, sir?
So we just declared a dividend, 100% dividend, yesterday, and which is much higher than what we have declared in the past. Yeah, and that's the first thing. Secondly, like I mentioned, we are paying all our loans. Yeah, especially the ECB loans that we have taken, and we will evaluate how the market shapes up, the economy shapes up, what's happening with the COVID, because cash is very important, right? We've all seen last year what happened. Yeah, cash becomes very important in these very tough times. Yeah?
To stabilize the business during these times.
That's correct. That's correct. So we'll see it out for the next 6 months, 1 year. See how the Indian economy recovers. How does the COVID pan out? We're not out of the woods yet as a country, though we may like to believe. Yeah.
So is there like any particular plan that we'll firstly just quickly pay off these loans, or just pay it gradually as it comes? Like
First is to pay off all the loans and then decide, see how the economy shapes up and then make a decision. And in due course, we'll inform you. Yeah.
Perfect. And just the last question would be, sir, that so now going forward in the next 2-3 years, what's the plan for INEOS?
So we'll see how the economy shapes up. First and foremost, we've got to get profitable, yeah, and which we are getting profitable with each passing quarter, which is a very good sign. We have become cash positive, which is also a good sign. So step by step, firstly, get all the loans paid off. Second, maintain the profitability for the few quarters, and then make a decision based on how the economy shapes up in the coming year for the next steps in India.
And that would be towards, sir? So if the economy remains stable, so then what would be our next plan?
We'll decide. At the end of the day, it's Indian economy vis-a-vis global economy and other regions. So I think all we can do is execute and get good business performance, and that sets up very well for the future for India.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please limit your questions to 3 per participant. Should you have a follow-up question, would request you to rejoin the queue. The next question is from the line of Yogesh Seth, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. So, how is the demand environment currently at INEOS? Because I think last quarter the volumes were severely impacted due to lockdown, and in the last conference call you had also said that demand in the month of May was around 30-40% lower. So, just wanted to understand how is the demand environment right now.
So the demand has been improving. Yeah. So May was a poor month. So June was better, and July is even getting better. I would say we are 80% back to where the demand is. So we expect the festive season to, uplift the economy and all the segments that we play in. So we are positive about the demand going forward.
Okay, sir. And so one more thing is, what's the view on the medium to long-term view for EBS as a product? Because one of the competitors last quarter, Supreme Petro, so they are going for, I think, an EBS expansion. So just wanted to understand your view on it.
So Supreme makes polystyrene, not ABS, yeah, and they're expanding their polystyrene and expanded polystyrene, with the LG having to shut down last year due to their issues in their operations, yeah, because of styrene tanks had fire, if you may remember, right? Yeah. So they had to shut down their capacity. So that was about 70,000 tons going out of the market. Yeah. So our view is that Supreme, this added capacity will just replace that capacity, yeah, going forward for polystyrene.
Okay. And so, just a medium term, 4 to 5 years view on the ABS as a product for India?
No, my view, I think I've repeatedly said, I would expect ABS to grow at 8 to 10% kind of levels, assuming that there's no COVID or, some major calamity which may happen. So just like India is expected to grow at 6 to 7% as economy. So we would look at 1.2 to 1.5x kind of a growth for polymer materials. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nitin Kapoor, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yes, thanks, sir. It's one more question I wanted to ask. Sir, in this I've been attending last couple of interactions with you, and what I find is you sound to be a little more optimistic now compared to previous couple of meetings. But still I feel that the company not aggressive enough in raising the capacity and other things. Don't you think that if you wait too long, the others will gain market share from you? This is one point. And another is, sir, what are the outstanding loans at the end of the year which you are thinking of repaying? And one more, the demand was low last quarter. So just wanted to confirm whether you had reduced the production or you were holding some excess stock of finished goods at the end of the quarter in anticipation of demand recovering. So these are my few points.
So your first question was concerned on market share. I think as of now, more than the market share, profitability is the most important thing for India, right? And that's what we are focusing on to maximize our margins. Yeah. There are imports which eat into the market share, which we don't mind because they are low-cost imports, taking away some of the low-priced ABS. Yeah. And we do not want to use our capacity for low-priced materials. Yeah. So that we are not that much concerned, number one. I'll answer your third question first, and then I'll give to Sanjeev for the outstanding loans, right? So big, yeah. So the demand, was lower last quarter, and like I mentioned earlier, it's improving. Yeah. With each passing month. Yeah? And it's not just for us, for a lot of industries, right? Not just for our polymer industry, for a lot of other industries, the demand was, April, May was a difficult month, and you can see it across, different market segments that demand is improving. Yeah.
So just wanted to confirm that whether you reduced the production in those couple of months.
So we from a production point of view, we did slow down our plants. Yeah. Because we generally do not like to build a lot of inventory. Because you don't want to get tied up with a lot of raw materials or high cost inventory. Yeah. So we manage our numbers based on our internal inventory targets and plan accordingly. Yeah.
Okay, I know that you don't tell us about the volumes, but just wanted to confirm whether if there is any sudden rise in demand or before the festival season or due to uptick in the economy, are you in a position to cater that?
Yes, we should be. Yeah.
Thank you. And just regarding the outstanding loans at the end of the quarter.
Yeah. So if you remember and saw our balance sheet, we had taken 100 crore loan for ECB. Out of that, we had already paid a certain portion already in the last year. So balance was only 54 crore in the as of 31st March 2021. Out of that, we are planning to pay 44 crore in this quarter. Already, in fact, we had already paid in this quarter. So balance will remain 10 crore, which as per ECB guidelines, we will pay accordingly in future. Yeah. So in net, 90% of ECB loan will be get repaid for the MOXY plant for which we have taken.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir.
Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1 now. The next question is from the line of Abhishek Jain from VC Corporate. Please go ahead.
Well, sir, I wanted to understand one thing. Do you have any update about the LG plant coming on stream? And if not, then why the people are not, even in this environment, why the people are not in this, bringing this capacity on stream? Number one. Another thing is that, could you tell me how this slowdown and low volumes has impacted the inventory level and receivables of the company?
So I could not hear your second part of your question, but let me try to answer and see how things shape up. So the LG plants, we don't know what their plans are, right? All we know that since May, June last year, they have been shut. Yeah, it's been over a year. And basically all the governmental bodies and all have been discussing with them and all the regulatory bodies, and they've not got the approval to restart. Yeah. Okay. That's all we know. In 3 months' time, 1 year's time, 3 years' time, I don't know. Yeah. But from what we have observed in the market and what we have read in the papers, that they are shut. Yeah. And of course, that has played an effect on the polystyrene volume in India, and which has helped some of the other players to maintain good margins and volume.
And another thing is, there are two questions. One is about the spread. Means as I can see in the international market, the Chinese styrene prices have come down by 10 to 12% in the last one and 1.5 months. But this ABS prices are remaining quite firm, like $2,300 to $2,500. So basically, means are you anticipating better margin in the September quarter, or the assumption is wrong?
Well, your assumption data points are correct, but all data points need not tie together, right? Because it depends on what inventory you have, which data point you are seeing for which month and all. But directionally, if ABS prices are still holding good, styrene, is going down a bit, and so are the ABS prices. We just have to wait and see how things shape up. Yeah, very difficult for us to predict what the margins are going to be going forward.
Okay, fine, no issues. And just the final question, means what sort of inventory buildup has happened because of the slowdown in that quarter one as compared to last quarter, means year end and the first quarter? How much has been the difference both in terms of inventory and receivables?
We don't disclose our numbers, but basically, our receivables have been under control. Yeah, and our inventory has also been well managed from a finished good point of view.
I mean, if there's a raw material that is with us, the Hycox raw material that we were talking about.
Pardon?
Means it is just a raw material that is with the company, means unfinished raw material sort of, that is stuck with the company during the quarter. Means we're just talking about the high cost inventory sort of, means it comprises mostly of the raw material and not the finished goods.
Yes.
Okay, fine. And sir, the last one, the auto sector is the biggest buyer of our user of our product. So how does the slowdown in this segment is impacting our business profile?
Well, we sell into multiple segments. Auto is one of them. Yeah, we are into household electronics. We are into distribution. We are into smaller appliances, packaging. Yeah, helmet industry. Electronics, healthcare. Yeah. So auto is an important sector, and the slowdown does affect our short-term volumes. But we see a good recovery happening in the four-wheelers and two-wheelers also. July sales are much better than June. So we are optimistic about a rebound in the auto industry.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And if you allow and if you can accommodate, I can ask a couple of more questions actually, if possible. Shall I proceed?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, one last question.
Okay, the last question then. Sir, can you tell me, means INEOS is an MNC company, and the parent is quite reputed, the biggest one in Europe. So why does this Indian subsidiary don't attract a good name in the investor profile? Even during this thing, means as far as I understand, ABS is quite a complex chemical and a value-added item, and the specialty chemical boom that's happening. So why does no investor is coming on board for this company actually? Means it's quite annoying and suspicious sort of thing. are we judging this company as a specialty chemicals is good or what?
Who's judging? Is it INEOS judging? I mean, is your question about INEOS? How is INEOS viewing India?
No. This company in which I am a shareholder, INEOS Styrolution India Limited.
Yeah. So could you repeat your question? I didn't quite understand your question. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what we see in India is that we have got a fancy for MNC companies as an investor that whatever be the company, if it's an MNC parent, because of the corporate governance and all these issues, we actually prefer an MNC company. So INEOS is an MNC company. So why is it not attracting good name of investors? No FII, no domestic mutual funds, or any big individual HNIs. Nobody is buying this company or the other one as well. But as far as I understand that ABS is a very, very complex product and it's a duopoly market, and still in this entire booming market of specialty chemicals, why means where's the cash actually? That nobody is entering to ABS segment, no investor is touching the stock. Means it's just a general question. Means you don't need to answer if you don't want to. Means it's really annoying. Means I wanted to understand. This seems to be a very, very complex business actually.
Well, I cannot comment why investors are not, or mutual fund guys are not buying to ABS. But all I know that our, the share prices and the market capitalization has improved versus last year. A lot of chemical sector companies, specialty chemicals and ABS and other companies and polymers have shown improved profitability, and that's all I can comment. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Abhijat Sinha from INEOS Styrolution India Limited for closing comments.
Thank you everybody for showing your interest in the company and attending this earnings call. We look forward to connecting with you during the next earnings call, which is an earnings call which is expected sometime in November. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you. On behalf of INEOS Styrolution India Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your line.